Thank you, Chief. So what we're going to talk about now briefly is the concept of where our fire stations are located. So just a quick background on this slide is to demonstrate that currently there are 3 fire stations, Bay Road, Depot Street, and Lothrop Street. The issue we have is that outside of this project, 2 of our fire stations are staffed with only 2 firefighters each. And I said before, this is a team effort. Everything we do requires 2 at the minimum. Most things require 4, 8, 10, and more firefighters, depending upon the severity of the call. So what we run into is when we go out on a call, we leave large swaths of the town uncovered. There's no one there, and the help has to come from further away. So if you're the second call, which happens all the time, we get simultaneous calls every day, you have to wait longer to get help because that side is uncovered. We don't like that. That's been identified. We want to fix that. So we would love to have a fire station in every corner and next to everybody's house and be there in 5 seconds flat, of course. But we also have to look at the reality as we have the entire town to protect and how best can we do that. So we know that there's a problem with how we respond now. And we're going to talk a little about, so what you see now is a response study. So we hired a professional nationwide, PhD, who does this professionally to analyze what's going on in the current form of what Easton is. The response is now, the south end of town is much busier than it was years ago. So this person came out, didn't just crunch numbers, actually came out, rode around with Deputy Carroll for a whole day, looked at all the important places in town, how our roads are, how the network works, everything, to formulate a strong, robust plan that you can see online that talks about it all and how it really works. Now, I will tell you what you're about to see and what I'm going to describe. I've actually gone out myself and timed it without lights and sirens to see how accurate this map is. And I'll tell you, these maps are accurate. If anything, they're a little conservative, and we can actually probably beat them a little bit. So on the left side, you'll see the purple is what we can get to in 5 minutes. So when you look at the codes that we have, the standard is somewhere between 4 minutes, 6 minutes for a response time is what our goal is. 4 minutes you typically see in urban environments, cities. You don't typically see a 4-minute response in most smaller suburban or rural towns. 6 minutes, we want to try to do better than 6 minutes, so we thought it would be fair to present you with 5. So we weren't just picking a number that's higher to make the map look better. We wanted to give you an honest, transparent assessment of what we think would be a safe response for you all, and can we do it more consistently. So on the left side, you'll see the purple is larger. That means all 3 stations are staffed, no one's out on a call, and that we can respond immediately for that call that comes in, for that emergency. But remember, the two dots you see on the bottom only have 2 firefighters each, and we can't even fight a fire in a building until we have 4 people there. So that means you've got to wait in those areas for the next firefighters to come. On the right side, if you look, you'll see that that area on the bottom left, that's the south end of town, is white. And the reason it is because when the ambulance goes to the hospital, and nowadays with the lack of Brockton Hospital and the situations, the emergency rooms, if you've heard about those, our ambulances are gone for, it can be an hour and a half, 2 hours or more if they have to go to Boston, which means that area in the south end of town, everything that's in white, the help has to come from somewhere else, either the north end, or it has to come from Norton or Mansfield, depending upon the severity of the call, where it's located, and the type. So we know that happens about 25% of the day. Every day, 365 days a year, the amount of hours that that station is uncovered is why you see that map. So as part of the project, we said, well, can we do anything to make that better as part of this project? And the answer is, yes, we can. Now, there's no perfect solution. We know that. And again, we'd love to have a fire station in every corner. But can we do something better for all of you? And I truly believe we can, and I think the data shows that if we place 2 stations strategically, one at Daly's Corner and one at 524 Depot, you'll see that the purple is very similar to what it was before. A couple variations, a little bit down 138 towards Rainham, you see a little change there. I tell you, when I drive that all the time from Daly's Corner or from 524 Depot, you can get to that intersection at Foundry and Turnpike in 5 minutes, 4 minutes and 42 seconds to be exact, without lights and sirens. I think we can do a little better than that map, but I don't want to fool anybody to say there's not a little bit of a change. Anytime you move fire stations, there's a change. But the advantage to this map that you see before you is if that ambulance is out, there are firefighters and paramedics still left in the stations in those areas to come and help you. So if you are the second call, there's going to be someone there to come help you. And that's why this is better. Again, we could have, fire stations everywhere would be great. Everybody wants a police cruiser right next to them when somebody runs that red light and you want them to get caught, right? But we don't always have that. But this will make you all safer. So, I just want to point out that A lot of time and effort went into figuring out this and to make sure that what we present to you is a true depiction of what we can do. And I believe what we're doing here will not only improve the health and quality of our firefighters, make them safer, and make them safer to come out and make you safer. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Town Administrator Reed.